Taunt said Wild Killer here, and we're back with another chapter of Blank Space. And this is day 14, and it's called Just Us. So, let's continue this. In the last chapter, they finally see each other. So, let's see what they're going to do next. Lawrence sat on the ground, tears in his pale blue eyes. "Oh my God," he whispered, looking up at his friend. Not more than a few days ago, he had hated this boy, and now he found himself feeling nothing but joy to see him in real life. He couldn't muster any words as he got to his feet. He hadn't seen another person in real life for 12 years, and here one was. Garth took a step forward, reaching out his hand slightly. It was bloody and full of glass, but something told Lawrence that he didn't feel the pain. Lawrence took a hesitant step back, and Garth's gaze darkened. "Did you not want to see me?" He pulled his hand back, not exactly hurt, but more worry in his eyes. "Are you afraid of me?" Lawrence stayed where he was. No, he said quickly. I just haven't seen anyone in a long time." His voice was shaking, along with his body. He tried to tell himself to calm down, but he couldn't. He was overly stimulated. His whole body trembled as if an earthquake was going on inside of him. Despite this, he forced himself to take a step forward, then another and another, until he stood directly in front of the blonde boy. Garth was taller than him, so he had to look up to meet those beautiful dark blue eyes. Gently, he lifted his hand and placed it on top of Garth's sun-kissed cheek. It was soft, warm, wonderful. He wanted desperately to just melt into Garth's arms in that moment. His eyes widened as tears began to fall down his cheeks. Embarrassment filled his body, and he looked away, trying to wipe away the tears that fell from his eyes. He yanked his hand away from the boy's cheek, not wanting to ruin his joyous meeting. Garth's hand then brushed his cheek, making the brunette blush even harder than he originally thought possible. His touch was kind and soft. He stroked Lawrence's cheek with his thumb, wiping away a few of the tears that fell. "Hey," Garth said. Lawrence thought Garth was going to say something like, "Don't cry," or "Really, it's no big deal." But instead, he surprised Lawrence by saying, "You've waited so long for this, seeing someone, touch them just to make sure they are real. Looking into a living, breathing person's eyes. If I was in your position, I would do the same thing." Lawrence looked up, shocked at the words that Garth had spoken. Only then he realized that Garth was crying as well. Silent tears trickled down his cheeks, and he kept his hand on Lawrence's cheek. Lawrence reached up and squeezed Garth's hand, choking back a sob. With his other hand, he ran his own hand through Garth's golden hair. It was silky and wonderful, just as he imagined. "You are beautiful," he whispered, retuning his gaze to the dark blue eyes that captured his heart. Garth pulled him into a tight hug, squeezing Lawrence and resting his head on his shoulder. Lawrence hesitated before hugging back, and still shaking, but feeling like a weight had been lifted off of him. He rested his head in the crook of Garth's neck, taking in all the glory of what it was like to be this close to another person. To feel them, to hear their heartbeat. It made the world melt around Lawrence as he stood hugging his friend. For once, it wasn't just him. Softly, he whispered to Garth, It's not just me anymore. It's just us." Aw, that's sweet. Yeah. Aw. Damn. Like if you liked. Comment what you think they're gonna do next. If you want to, that is. Subscribe if you want to, and everything's in the description below. So, I'll see you guys next time. See ya!